Hey everybody, this is Tony, and I'm here today with a special guest. I'm sorry, uh, none other than Miss Darra. Like that boy, how you doing today?
I'm good. You know what? It's just you just call me Miss Darra. Make me
Okay.
feel like my mama because everybody calls her Miss Loretta.
Okay, well that's all right. But of course, we all got to know you as being a contestant first, on being uh, as a contestant on Flavor of Love too. I'm sorry.
Yes,
And you basically made the show with your your funny comments and your facial expressions because they really told it all.
I did my best. I did my best.
But of course, I really wanted to know what led you to go on this show to be a contestant to try out to win Flavor Flav Love.
I know this sounds really bland and nothing exciting or anything, but it was really to help a friend.
Okay. Because
A friend wanted to audition for the show. That's the shortest version. A friend of mine wanted to audition for the show, and she didn't want to go by herself.
oh, okay. So was that friend? Did that friend end up on the show?
She never showed up. She chickened out on me, left me out there with these people. I didn't know what was going on. That's how many years ago it was. I was busy doing my own thing. Left me with these people. People asking me questions. Had I ever been in a fight? This, that, and the other. I was like, what? I didn't really know how to answer any of these questions. And when I did, it was just like, oh, we want you. I was okay.
Oh my! So were you ever on our show before? Flavor of Love.
That was my first ride down the entertainment rodeo.
Mm, yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was crazy though because like once we got into the season, or even in the first season, you started seeing like some of the girls were on previous dating shows and things like that and stuff. So for it to be your first time, I'm sure it was a trip.
I was an innocent novice. I didn't know anything about anything.
Mm, wow. So you go there to help a friend now.
It's a different story. It is a different story.
So what was the process like though? The casting process, what was that like?
I mean, it was really a standard casting process. I think they did a couple of like previews of when they were trying to select the girls, people waiting online to be interviewed and things like that. Standard stuff. Why do you want to participate? Nothing. Phew. Tony, I wish it was exciting. I
Right.
honestly wish the whole process was like, woo, but it was, or like, yeah, or like next time, but it was like,
It wasn't it.
you know?
Yeah.
I can tell you I was really I was really not as entertainment savvy as I was back then. I didn't know what to expect. Everybody was gracious and nice when they were interviewing me in the process and followed up and did what they were supposed to do as professionals. Like I felt very comfortable with the team that I ended up working with,
Okay.
and that it really made me wanted to participate in the show because I just everyone was just so nice and they made you feel comfortable and they made you feel like you were going to be a part of something really big. I didn't know how
Right.
big it was then. If I knew that, I would have probably been hiding in my closet.
I'm telling you because it really was big. I mean, you think about it.
It was the most watched show on VH1 for the time, for all 3 seasons. It was the most shot, millions, nearly billions of viewers. Crazy. I had no idea that's how many people were watching the show. I just, it was a day in the life in New York for me. I go work in New York, I come home to Jersey City, go to bed, wake up, go home, work in New York, come home to Jersey City, get into bed, do my thing 5 days a week, party on a weekend, boom, right?
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy
Think I'm
because
even gonna get chicken wings.
exactly. It's crazy because those shows really like blew up, just like you said, millions of viewers watched. So first season, I think a lot of people watched because they were kind of like, are these girls really coming here for Flavor Flav? And then
Mm-hmm.
it turned into, okay, so now it seems like they really are coming. So now let's see what they have to offer. Let's see what's going on. And then after they seen that first season and how that went, and of course, he didn't end up with uh, who was it? Delicious, I think it was in. But no, it was Hoops. I'm sorry, Hoops the first time. But then the second season, I know they were like, okay, well, we got more anticipation now because we already kind of know what to expect somewhat from the first season. So you
Right.
guys came along. It was just, it was even better. And then
I
you
mean,
came
uh,
and rocked it.
I mean, thank you so much for your compliments. For someone like I reflect back. That's, I mean, I might not be, I'm not the best with the numbers, but I think that sucker was like 14 years ago, nearly coming soon. You know what I mean? At
Yeah,
least by all 14 years we getting on when those shows were popular like that. Now everybody after that, everybody had a reality show. Ray J had something.
yep,
Rock of Love. Then there
yep.
was Cool. Then the Real Housewives things blew up. Then Love and Hip Hop. I mean, we got everything. We got everything now that was pretty set up on a premise and a basis of what we started with all those years ago.
Yeah, it's true because even New York got her own spinoff and she blew up, and then
Yep.
more came after that.
Yep. And so, it's just an amazing phenomenon how reality TV kind of exploded during those times and just kind of people wanted to see inside people's lives. They really wanted to see inside people's lives, and you would think that like they wouldn't want to, but they did, and they still do.
Right, right.
And
So
so it's a popular platform to use now. It's a good one because this is what this is what your demographics are interested in. This is what your viewership is looking for. They
mhm.
want to see what's on my shelf, like we were just talking about. Ooh, what books you reading? Buddha, boring stuff like history, if you want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mongol Queens and Nikola Tesla.
It's crazy though. But you say you started out going on the audition basically to help a friend out. So once you got in this situation, what was going through your mind then? Because it basically was like if I don't want to say an acting job for you, but it kind of was in a sense. But what was going through your mind going through that competition, just going through elimination night after night?
I mean, in the beginning, you get really nervous about standing on that platform, wondering if you're going to be the next one to go.
Right.
But then after a while, like all shows, things get a rhythm. And so you come accustomed to having to stand up. And then you kind of get excited and anticipate that part. And it's not like you're sad or how can I describe this? You get excited about the process. You really
Okay.
like the process, okay? You're nervous in the beginning because you don't know what to expect. But once a
Right.
show like that gets a rhythm and you're doing it every day and you're doing things during the day and you're doing it at night, your readiness is more thorough, and your availability to the rejection, if you want to call it that, or your availability to the excitement because you stayed is far
Mhm.
more animated because you're more involved. And I think it makes for a better show. I mean, I don't know how any other way to describe it. Like, you don't, you cry because
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to, but you're not like emotionally overwrought. You're not exhausted. You're just as happy as you are sad for the person that gets to stay as you are the person that gets to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly, exactly.
a camaraderie that doesn't, with a group of people that you're sleeping with every day, you drink with, you're sharing bathrooms with every day. This is stuff that's happening. You didn't know them in the
Yeah.
beginning. You're nervous about what they think about you. 3 days in, man, everybody is running around like doing whatever they need to do to get through this.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much because you have to get used to each other at some point.
Yes, there is a such thing as fast friends. It happens.
Mhm. So somebody asked previously, I don't know if you can share or not. But they asked how much were you guys getting compensated back then for those shows?
Well, you know that's not a question I can answer.
Okay, I had to ask anyway. But
Love you for it. Nope.
they not finna get you, huh?
No, they're not gonna get me. They're not gonna get me at all. At all, at all, at all.
Yeah. But going through the house, you had friendships. Eventually, you got to know some of the girls, and then you eventually ended up having a rift with Buck Wild because you basically were saying, is that really you? She had this whole act of being a black girl or being a white girl, and you say, hey, girls where I'm from, they don't act like that. So it was kind of hard for you to believe. But you've had some of the most memorable moments for me.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Why were my moments so memorable when I was only on that show for 5 episodes?
Because let me tell you, season 1, Goldie was pretty much the commentary and the comedian. You weren't being a comedian, but it was just like your natural reactions was making it so funny that you couldn't do nothing but laugh no matter what it was. Because even when it came to her. Yeah, even when it came to Buck Wild, it was like, well, she's not lying, so you just had to laugh at it.
You had to.
Yeah.
That's a really solid answer. As for being in that environment, you had to.
Yeah, I think one of the most talked about moments though was when you guys had the pool party at the house, and everybody came over with Warren G, G-Unit, and all of these people, and you ended up diving in the pool fully clothed, and you just rocked it. But what made you do that?
I was bored.
Listen, I think a lot of those girls.
There's only so much drinking you're gonna be able to do beside a pool. Only so much talking you're gonna be able to be beside a pool. Besides, you're gonna get in. And I mean, you from Miami. People don't just stand around a damn pool and like not get in. Some people get thrown in with their clothes on. That's par for the course. My father lived in Orlando for almost nearly half my life. That's what you do. Yeah. Everybody got a pool. You get in the pool. You don't stand around the pool and not get your head wet. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what you do in California. I guess I learned that is what you do in California because they sure was laughing at my big ass jumping in there with all my damn on.
Yes. I mean, because most of them, if you've seen it, they was like standing up. They want to look pretty, or they want to fix their, responses to the guys.
That's their every right to do that. But we always have fun where I'm from.
Right.
That's
what you pretty much said, though. You like, hey, when people say jump, I say hi, let's get it. You were just a fun, you made it fun because, like I said, everybody else was pretty much just like trying to focus on what should I say to this person or how should I answer their question or, and you or other people like Boots, they were having fun, but you were the person who was like, you know what, let's turn this out.
I guess I thank you for that. I just wanted to enjoy my experience. I just, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I was a novice to everything. I look back now, maybe I should have been sitting around there trying to be pretty and cute and gaining the attention of individuals for my future. But I was so busy being like, what? Here's a pool. There's a liquor. Let's jump in. What's a girl to do?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you had no other choice. I mean, you did have another choice, but you did the right choice. You made the right choice.
Well, you paid me too many compliments, honey. I had to do something wrong. I didn't stay there the whole time. Damn, she's delicious. So Lord have mercy. I must have did something wrong.
No, but you know what? That's what I was gonna say though. It seemed like as soon as you got ready to step up and say, hey, well, let me try to make sure I stay here by showing Flav I'm really interested, that's when he eliminated you.
Well, what are you gonna do? It's not, there's, I mean, I don't feel rejected.
Right. I mean, but it's kind of crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but he pretty much told you were like a home girl. But it's like, could have just let me stay in the background and stay here longer if that was gonna be the case.
Well, I mean, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. If someone's trying to find their true love and they find a friend, and they got to really focus on trying their true love.
Right.
You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know how many people you've dated in your life, but then after a while you have like 20 friends and no date.
Exactly. 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 Now you're right about that one. But when he called you down that last night, and it was between, I think, you and Beautiful at the time, where he basically told you were like a homegirl and he wouldn't lead you on. What were you really thinking at the time, though?
Oh Lord, I didn't pack my clothes. They was in the room, all strewed over the place. How long are they gonna give me to pack my stuff?
Yeah, that's crazy though, because a lot of the girls used to say, "Oh, I already packed my stuff," or even if not only those girls, but
I
a lot of
wasn't
them.
one of those girls.
Yeah, because if you go back and watch the episode, not you, I'm just saying people in general. But if you go back and watch the episode, you were like, "I know I'm not going nowhere. I know I'm staying." So for him to call you out and say, "You got to go," it was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah, because I really thought I was staying.
No, but it's cool though. But at least he was, honest enough to say, "Hey, we could be friends." But that's one thing I did respect, and a lot of people. One thing I did pick out of this whole thing though is everybody kept talking about your weight, and even you would say big girl, but compared to a lot of those girls, you wasn't really that big. I mean, the way they were saying it, I would have thought you was about 400, 500 pounds. Like, but
Well, I mean, about 2 years ago, I was 300 pounds. 2 years ago, it took me some time. I was really ill, and I lost 150 pounds.
okay. Well, congratulations on that. I did see your weight loss, so congratulations on that.
Oh, you see, I'm a hospital.
You looking different.
I look back at a lot of my headshots and I don't even look the same. But
Yeah.
no, I look back at that time and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't even that big. And then I think it was Madame Noir recently did an article about how we were discussing, like, they were reflecting in this article about how much weight shaming that was happening on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in those days, they were like kind of going back and like talking about they were talking about like they were really doing a lot of weight shaming, and when you're in the process, you're not noticing that this is happening, and then even
Right.
at those times, I didn't feel like you didn't feel that I was big. I didn't feel like I was extremely overweight, and so it wasn't like I was oblivious, but it really wasn't a concern of mine. I'm like, oh, people just say, I mean, I live my life water off a duck's back. People have said worse things about me, to me, my face, for me, whatever, and so you don't really think about the negativity unless it's like right in your face and affecting you. And it really wasn't, because for every person on that show that had something to say about my weight, whether it was about concern or disconcern, had something else of quality to say to me in person, off camera,
Yeah.
on camera. So I never really thought about it. I didn't think about being overweight until I was sick and overweight.
Okay.
And it's not because of my eating habits. You know what I mean? Because I've
Right.
always had eating and exercise habits. But then, honey, that 185 that I was back then turned into 200 and came down this one, that one, the other way. And you know what I mean? You get older, and it's a lot of hard work. But at some point, you don't want to die, and you kind of just say, okay, I'm going to do this so that I can. And I'm still not small.
Okay.
I'm still not small. I may look good to people like, oh my Lord have mercy, that have, been, fans and followers of my story on Instagram, on Facebook, with my family and my career now. They have seen me from those beginnings 14 years ago until 2 years ago until now,
Yeah.
I still have a lot of work to do health-wise, but again, I still don't look, it's not something that I've ever looked at like, oh my God, you're too big and you're ugly. I've never been without, when I was at 300 pounds, 300 pounds, you know, and I'm looking at my face in this camera right now and reminding myself of how swollen my face actually was at 300 pounds. I was still getting it. Do you know how many people was knocking on the door? I'm walking with a cane, fool. I ain't got time for you. How can I lift a leg if I can't even walk out the door? Like, so it was like oblivious to me. I never thought, like, I never even, you know, because hey, they think I look good. I must look good. I've always been modest.
Right.
I've never been, I'm so gorgeous. Oh, I'm so gorgeous. It's too. That's never been something that came out of my mouth unless it was like that as a complete joke. You know?
Yeah. But you know what? Even though, like, in the midst of you being on the show, you still were, whether you believe you were fat or skinny or whatever the case may be, you made sure you stayed in your lane. Like, even when it came to the dancing competition, you said, hey, these girls jumping on the floor, they doing all this wiggling. I'm finna come smack it. That's it.
Yep. I can't do no split to this day.
You know what? But hey, I respect you because you did what you could.
Yep.
But that was just, I think that was another hilarious moment though. But of course,
it was.
You guys being on that show, it provided a lot of girls opportunities outside of the show. And some of them did modeling, and some of them did something crazy. But eventually, after that, you know, you went on charm school with Monique.
Yeah.
So how did that situation happen? Did they just call and say, hey, we want you to come do this? Did you have to audition again, or what was that process?
I mean, they just basically, I mean, it was really like an outreach. I still kept in contact with a lot of people of the production company there, just because I was so grateful for the opportunity. And then next thing you know, I got a phone call that says, hey, listen, would you be interested in doing this new project?
Okay.
You know?
Right. And I mean, it was a brilliant idea for people who hadn't thought of that, because everybody talked about the bad behavior and how crazy and how outrageous and outrageous you guys were on the show. And so now here you are with a show that's basically saying, well, now we're giving them tools to refine themselves. So it was like a genius idea, though.
Yes,
and then you went on, of course, with some of the girls from season 1. And then you ended up getting into basically an argument with Safari on there when you guys did the clothes drive, because she basically called you out and said you were fake for not giving all what you had. But what was the real situation there? Because they never did tell you had to give everything you had. They just said give.
Yeah.
So what was your mindset going into that? You were just like, hey, I'm just going to give to make it enough, or what? What was the case? Because she felt like you were holding back.
I barely remember. I seriously barely remember, because that's how long it was ago. But I vaguely remember that the place didn't want everything that I had. And then I negotiated the things. I had more stuff than I had presented, but they didn't want it all.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't get a chance to give it. I came back with stuff, and she got mad, and I was like,
there was nothing you could do. But what would you have done if you would have won that $50,000 from Charm School?
Paid bills.
I'm telling you, I think most people would have done that though. I mean, even Safari won, and she said
bills.
Looking for a house.
Bills. Period. End of story. There will be no vacation. There will be no buying a new car. It will be what bills getting paid.
I'm telling you. But yeah, like I said, even Safari, when she won, she said, hey, I just need me a place to stay right now, you know, because of the situation that I'm in. So I think most people were pretty much thinking that, except for those who probably had money already.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your overall experience though? If you remember, just being in charm school. Period. I mean, I know Monique was probably cool, but what was your overall experience?
I mean, it it was fun.
I think
That was such a bad answer because I was like, I just realized it was Madame Noir, the article, but it was about Charm School and not Flavor of Love season 2.
Okay.
So that we could clarify and you do what you need to do and edit.
yeah, that's fine. But
anyways,
cool. Of course, you guys had obstacles and like how do you see it? They gave you guys challenges basically on there to do.
Yeah.
And one of the hardest things for you was that obstacle course that they gave you.
Actually, I didn't do as bad as I thought I was gonna do. I was like excited about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because you really didn't do that bad.
Yeah. Now that with my regimen, I know that you don't eat before a course like that.
Yeah. Especially when you gotta climb and get over that rope and all that. It's too much. It's too much. But
a little warm up would have definitely helped.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the way that they were portraying you to be so big, I still think you did like, an okay job compared to what they were basically saying you would do. So I'm just okay. But hey, everybody can't do everything good in the first place, and that's like
no,
I said, you always make sure to stay in your line.
I can't climb a rope. I could run.
There you go. That part. But so this is my thing though. So like because of the shows being so successful, they ended up coming out with like I Love Money. Now I Love Money basically became like, to me, a miniature version of Fear Factor because they was doing all this crazy stuff.
Right.
So now, seeing your experience with the obstacle course, do you think you would have made it on one of those seasons of I Love Money?
No.
Not at all, right?
They knew not to call me.
Yeah, I was wondering. I said, well, why didn't they call you though? I think it would have been funny, not as far as the challenges, but just you giving commentary, period, would have just been hilarious.
More than likely, yes. But I mean, that was pretty strenuous. And around that time that I Love Money came out was really the beginning of my body process. Like I look back now, and that's when I really started to get sick, but I wasn't sick, so I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
So I probably, hindsight's 2020, so maybe I should have, really kind of, campaigned for myself to be on that show, and then found out a little earlier that I had all of these issues that I ended up having. But you know what? God doesn't give you anything that you cannot get over, get under, or ask him for prayers for. It all comes at the right time. So
that's right.
There it is. I am happy now. I am a seasoned actor. I am in this actors union. I am on the committee for I'm on the LGBTQ committee for this New York area. Finally, after so many years, although the pandemic has really stopped any process and organizations. So I've tried to be involved with my union, and I've made new friends and established some camaraderies with other productions, and done a lot of different things that have like helped me to become a better actor,
Okay.
And
yeah. So but as far as acting, you do have some credit since then. So talk about acting. What have you been doing as far as that, and what really prompted you to start acting? Because I know Flavor Love was a credit, but what prompted you to start actually going into acting?
I mean, in all honesty, I had spent almost 17 years in advertising and marketing and communications.
Okay.
And unfortunately, those corporate environments are the big demographic for VH1 shows. You would think it's college kids, but for every corporate office I had to try and go back to after a show, even as a freelancer, someone on the other side of the table was like, hey, aren't you? So that was like, it was really difficult. Like I said, I was very inexperienced. I didn't even realize the popularity of the show at the time. I was just trying to enjoy myself and do a friend a favor, and
Mm-hmm.
ended up transitioning into acting because it was just, it was a distraction to most people to see me there working in the cubicle next to them, and then they go home at night and watch me on TV. It was like that was actually happening. So I made a personal choice to start a new career, and it's been a benefit for me to and a blessing as well to participate and be a part of this really group of great people in entertainment. The
Yes,
hustle is,
yes.
it's hard work. It is not easy to get into this union. It is not easy to stay into this union. In
Of
this
course.
union, any kind of dynamic for your fear of rejection, or your any kind of personal issues that you may have that take you away from your goals, and it's hard to get back into it. New York is a very hard market. It's a lot smaller than California, and
Yeah, it is.
and insular in its own way, and I think my family, who have been very supportive of what I've been trying to do here, and I of them, because doing this, as much as the hustle is, it allows me to, my parents they old. Who taking care of them?
Right, right.
Me. So
Mm-hmm.
I honestly had to give me a job where I was going to make some money and be able to take care of them when I needed to take care of them.
Okay. But hey, you got to
Lo
do
and
what you got to
behold,
do.
who would have thought it would be joining this union?
Yeah. It's funny how we don't realize how things will turn out, but the journey somehow makes it come out exactly how it's supposed to come out. And that's
Yep.
the blessing in everything that we go through.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's. But talk about some of your credits though. Some of your acting credits. What have some of the things you've done?
you wanna credit me for this, that? Well, there was Tower Heights. I played a traffic cop. There was
Right.
Salt. I was running out of the damn church when it was getting all exploded. I did I did a production from the United Gay Network for Morgan, where I played this gay injured bicyclist best friend. I have 2 credits in Moscow, in Russia.
Oh wow. Okay.
Amazingly, sometimes I forget them because it's over there, right? But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so I have been working. I have been really, listen, I'm not I'm not trying to sit up on this platform and tell you that Darra has made it. She's LA famous and fabulous. You can't speak to her unless you go through 5 people. I'm not trying to sit up in my sofa chair and tell you that lie. I will tell you that I am happy with my progression, because
Right.
there are
Right.
a lot of people out here struggling to get that I just told you to get.
Absolutely.
Older
Absolutely.
than me, or younger than me, and are still not getting it. I work very hard. I continue to work very hard to try and do really good works for myself. It's not the fame for me, baby.
Okay.
It's that I like my job.
Yeah, and you can tell just by the way that you talk about it.
Yep, I had a comedy open mic for 4 years, many years ago. The restaurant was on the east side, but then that Superstorm Sandy came and put them under the bus, and that was it. And then
Oh,
I had to transition my Monday nights into taking care of my family, and now I'm starting to get back into the comedy again. I didn't even realize I was that as funny until people like you started saying that I was funny, and then next thing you know,
see,
I had friend of a friend of a friend that needed to put together an open mic and needed a host for it. So I was doing a lot of hosting and producing a lot of different small shows. Nothing fantastic, nobody big. You know, enough.
No, but you see, sometimes you don't see it for yourself. Like sometimes we can't see ourselves. Somebody else sometimes have to tell us, like, hey, this is on you. Like, hey, you're doing this. Like, hey, so you being funny, like I said, I don't even think you were doing it on purpose. It just was coming out that way.
I wasn't. I'm not doing it on purpose now.
See what I'm saying? It's just natural for you.
We're having a conversation. You reached out to me. Right. I said yes. I mean, I just God has blessed me. You know what? I don't care if I sound like a Jesus freak because you know what? 1 second.
Uh-huh.
Tell the world. Here is my rosary book. Here are my rosaries. I say a rosary. I am Catholic every night. And I thank my Lord and Savior and his mother every day for the opportunity to be with someone that I know or I don't know and put a smile on their face.
Right, absolutely.
I'm talking to you because we have a life where everything is stressful. I mean, it is stressful to be a human being in this world, even before the crisis, even before any Black Lives Matters issues, just to stay alive. Even
exactly.
I mean, not to skip it, but just strip away our African Americanism. And it's just hard being a human being. I made a personal choice to be happy.
Right. And that's what you have to do.
I made a personal choice to be happy. And this is how it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I don't get from you, I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to force this. It's just like, hey, it's natural. This is who I am and this is how it's coming out. If it's funny to you, then great. But hey, this is who I am. So that's what the beauty of it is.
And of course, I do have my professional voice for those moments and times on the telephone with the call center when you don't want to curse them out.
There you go.
I do know how to do that. That's pretty fake. This is it. There really isn't anything else,
Yeah, you can only give what you got.
I can only give what I got. You know what? I just don't have the energy to give anything else anymore, man. I want to be happy. It's a struggle to be happy. I want it. I want to be happy. I want to work hard. I want to take pride in my work. I want to take care of my mama. I want to take care of my daughter, and I want to be happy. And I want to thank God every day for every little penny I got, because that penny, it could be gone. It's a lot of people out here that really, really thought they was going to be okay until they was told they couldn't go back to work. And then they got furloughed. All right. And they was making bank,
there you go.
And now they're like, my Lord, my mortgage, my car, what am I going to do? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm rolling with the punches. I'm rolling with the punches.
Yeah. I mean, because
we not promised much
at all. And this is what people don't understand. That's why you have to just truly just live life as it is and take the good with the bad and, try to have fun and enjoy it. That's it. It's not about, making a problem out of this. And no, have fun.
And please, 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 please try and do something that you love. Even if you can't do it right now, make the thing you love your hobbies. Hobbies becomes businesses. Business become careers,
That's right.
It's not
you
a
just
joke.
Spoke a word. You just spoke a word.
I'm just saying, I have seen my life change like that in an instant, man. I went from advertising, a nice, decent, I was, nice, decent freaking supervisor, project manager, knowing how to do all of that marketing stuff, busting out off the internet, like, project managing the designs of websites, to Flavor of Love, tried to go back to that, can't do it. Went here, hustle, broke, not good, always been an extra, been a stand-in, done this, audition and fail, right? Living in Jersey. Flood came, stole that house, cried and cried. Okay, well, that's not supposed to be. Now, back home with my mama, helping her take care of her husband. Now I'm helping her take care of her. Watch my daughter graduate from undergraduate degree. Watch my daughter graduate, get her master's degree. She's a teacher. Now she's dating a doctor. Daddy gone, down in Florida. Everybody having, these things happen in the past 20 years. I'm not trying to even act like this happened. And I had a plan from the other 30, don't tell nobody. I had a plan from the other, okay? right? Entirely different.
Right.
And this just happened like that. Boom, 7 years. Boom, 7 years. Boom, 7 years. Next thing you know, you got a steady groove on something, and everything changes, and you're doing something entirely different.
Yeah.
You are not promised. Do something you love. And if you can't do the thing that you love, try and do the thing that you love a hobby until it becomes the thing that you can do. Because I never once in my life, in high school, in grammar school, in college, I went to Syracuse University, never once in my life thought I would be an actor.
Wow.
I used to watch Tay Diggs play in a band with another friend of ours, okay?
Oh, wow, okay.
All over those apartments. Not one time did I ever think, oh, I want to be an actor like Tay.
And it just so happened that you are today.
No, I'm not an actor like Tay. You crazy. I can't even compare myself.
Oh, please.
Talented. I'm just saying that's how, you have people in your life that are on their own mission to do things, and you didn't even, it was my mission to do that. I just kind of ended up here, and it's making me happy.
Yeah, that's true, because when I started doing these interviews, I didn't anticipate doing any of this kind of stuff. I just jumped in it because I played to you. I was helping out somebody else. So, it just jumped off of that. And then I ended up saying, okay, well, because my cousin initially was a person who was watching all these different YouTubers do stuff and stuff like that. And I wasn't into that. I was more, I would watch TV before I would watch something on YouTube from those people.
Yeah, me too.
But she came and she said, oh, do you watch these guys? Do you watch this girl? She gave me all these people. And I'm like, no, I don't watch them, but I'll check it out. And then I started getting interested, and I said, well, I think we could do that. And then eventually I said, okay. And then before I know it, we didn't have like a professional approach or nothing. Like, I didn't even know how to write an email back then that was sufficient to somebody. So, but it just so happened that our very first interview was with Leslie Jones, and Leslie is now on Saturday Night Live. But back then, she was just a comedian. This was like 7 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But she ended up responding right back because she was doing her own stuff at the time. So she didn't have like an agent and stuff like that. She responded like right back within a couple of minutes and was like, okay, cool. When do you want to do it? And we started up. We did the interview over Skype, and that was the very first interview, and it just kept rolling after that. So I never anticipated any of this stuff. It kind of just happened, and I just carried on with it.
But Tony, you have that name. If that's your name, or even if you decided that was going to be your stage name, the Tony Holley Show is a name that it's like a solid name. Like sometimes you don't even think about it. Like,
yeah,
people ask me if I would change my name, but like, you know what, Darra Boyd sticks.
It does, because it's different. It's not even a common name.
You don't forget it. It's easy to remember, but it is different, right? And so I'm like, I'm not changing my name. I mean, credit bad anyway. So what you gonna steal?
Exactly. They're gonna be mad. I tell them all the time, if you steal my wallet, you're gonna be mad.
Go ahead. Credit karma me. You go right ahead and see what you can do. A whole lot of nothing.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be mad. Hey.
Don't print that.
I'm done. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah. Lord. Because some fool gonna try and do that.
Exactly, because they watching. And I'm not gonna lie. Somebody tried to log into my iCloud the other day, and I'm like, here y'all go with this hacking mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to change my password and everything.
Who you telling? Like, yeah, man. I don't have no cloud, but then then I was like, okay, but I got a Dropbox.
Yeah, see, they try to find all this stuff.
But they ain't get up in there yet. I think people even think people ain't trying to get up at me because they know I ain't got nothing. they must know already.
But listen, do you guys still get residual checks or anything like that from Flavor of Love?
Well, my darling, you know I cannot discuss the financials of that show with you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's really okay.
All right. So are you? Let me ask it this way.
I mean, people don't really understand that you really do sign some serious non-disclosure agreements, and you can't remember whether they were how long they're going to last. So I just,
Yeah. That's true.
the round
I
figure,
already know.
for most of them could be 20 years. It's not 20 yet, baby.
Right. You still within that 20. So I mean that makes sense. But those shows are still coming on right now today. VH1 still play marathons. Of course, it's on Hulu right now. But
Mm-hmm.
Eventually that will be part of your legacy, or it is a part of your legacy. So what do you want people to just really know about you though?
Oh my God, what do they don't already know?
And that's the way it is.
Exactly, right? Lord have mercy. I'll never quote One DMC again. Lord.
Oh man. I mean, but you got to think about it.
You know what? We really didn't realize that we have already discussed the answer to this proverbial question. Your question to me is, what do you want the world to walk away with about you?
Right.
My answer is that we are promised nothing. Okay. Jesus is my friend. Smile all the time. Mm-hmm. And do what you love.
That's right. That's it.
I really, call me corny. Call me boring. Call me ineffective. Mm-hmm. Those things have worked for me in struggling and trying times. And there have been a lot of them. We could have a whole nother show about the sadness in anyone's life. And I can tell you, from the time I left, from the time of day one where I went to go shoot that thing until the date, all of the not so good things that have happened in my life that I won't even discuss to brag to you that I overcame them. I can't believe I'm still here. That's God. G-O-D.
Absolutely. That's nothing but a blessing.
I can't. I really can't. I don't know how not to be thankful for this higher power, for this universe that is the higher power. You call it and tell it whatever you want to say that works for you. My spirituality is me, and it has always been a means to my success. And I don't have any other interesting thing to say about that except for that. Right. I have been damn near dead, damn near broke, damn near depressed, ready to slit a wrist.
Yeah, and it's real life. It happens.
Then I have been personally spoiled, personally selfish, ignorant and stupid, taking advantage of kindness, all of these things that you don't realize until you look back and you've done them, how you have got to force to change your life to get it better. It all starts with you. I mean, these things have happened. I have done them. I can have conversations with them. I have taken pride in saying and asking for forgiveness to those and to myself. Mm-hmm. And still not good, because I've given charity. I've given hugs to people that did not know me when they needed them. I've stopped people in the street and said, you know what? This color might look good on you. And they were thankful. All right. Mm-hmm. I found $20 and I gave it away. I cried with someone I didn't even know that needed someone to tell them it's going to be okay. Right. And maybe that's not an entertainer's way. Maybe it might seem to people that I'm sitting here telling you these things to try and transition you away from the quintessential actor that really is always talking about the craft and honing their skills and being appropriate and how much hard work it takes to, work on these scripts and create these characters and develop yourself into these and how much energy it takes for you to become something else that you're not. Yes, those things are all very important to entertainment. I do not deny them. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you asked one question, and the only question to answer I have for it is God.
That's right. Hey, like I said, you can only give what you got.
You know what? I'm not sorry, but I Listen, how's it down there in Miami? I'm sorry, I just touched my thing. How's it down there in Miami, honey? Because where are you living in? And you living in Dade, or are you living in like where you live?
No, I'm in Dade County.
Yeah, you in Dade?
Well,
Where you
yes,
at?
yes. Down in you know where Homestead is?
Yeah, cause my daughter boyfriend is from Kendall, and I know all of that. I know where
Oh,
Homestead
okay.
at. I know
Well, I'm not. I was
how.
gonna say I'm about like 20 minutes or 15 minutes away from Homestead in Gould.
And where?
In Gould.
What? I didn't hear you.
In Gould. Can you hear me?
Gould, Gould,
Gould.
Florida.
Right,
I know
right.
where that is. I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
they cutting the tree. They cutting the tree in the neighbor's yard over here, honey. And them people, ooh, they've been cutting that tree
Oh.
all day. They
Yeah,
nearly.
but that's where I'm at.
Ooh, y'all got. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do with DeSantis.
I don't
I
listen.
know.
Let me tell
Don't
you,
say nothing. Just go like this.
it's a trip. It is a trip, and you know these people are really eating him up now in the press. So
Yeah, they eating them because he sat up there and acted a damn fool, and now everybody's sick.
didn't even know
Everybody's
how to
sick.
put on the mask.
My mama got to go down there and call my auntie every other day because she live in West Palm, right? Then I got to call
Okay,
I got to call my grandmama, you know. It's a long
right,
story. But I got to call my grandmama. She over there in West Palm also, and another development. They down there by themselves, getting their groceries up in them stores by themselves. Leave, I'm with my mama. My mama said stay in the house, don't come in. You
right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm getting the groceries, or my daughter get the groceries. But yeah, you don't know what to do, man. And then I got
exactly.
my daddy, God rest his soul, he passed before it was it was about to happen. Like I could not be
Mm,
grateful that my father passed away before this shit went down, because
I'm
he would
telling you.
have been suffering. You don't know.
Yeah,
I may say my prayers and I say thank you, daddy, for dying before this happened, because we
right.
would be so upset with that man out there acting. All them people in the first place had died up in that nursing home for that other hurricane that time, and now you don't know what's going on in there, and now we got the heat, and then don't think nothing. Don't say, listen, don't be fooled by New York governor, all right? Because couldn't nobody stand his narrow ass before he got on CNN.
Well, they don't fell in love with him now.
They fell in love with him. He's a big old bully up in there. He be getting stuff done. He stand by his, you know what I mean? He just rolled up in there and he said, I am not my father.
Hmm.
You will respect me. But he ain't make a lot of friends doing that, for real.
Of course. Of
And
course.
now, you know, and then, you know, his brother over there on CNN, and he's a glory hound.
Yeah.
You ain't putting this on. Don't put this on here. We just talking, because Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
One day I might need Chris Cuomo. Understand? This is just for you and me. This is just for you and me.
Exactly. No, I got you.
You can do some holiday outtakes and do two of your friends. But you know, he just a glory hound. So you know that's why he put his brother up on there, right?
Yeah. And then they get on there and trip out with each other.
They get up on there and trip out. But something needed to happen, because he was on that damn CNN every day, and we was frightened. My mama was in the hospital, but she never did get sick. She didn't go in because she was sick. But my mama was in the hospital, and me and my daughter was in. I might go to hell, but I'm gonna tell it because it's a funny story. Me and my daughter looked at my mama, and we were like, you know what? You need to get the fuck up and do some shit, because if you go to the hospital, you're gonna die. This is not the time to be playing sick.
At all.
It was not, but she was really sick, you know, because my mama liked to fake. No, I can't. No.
What you say? This ain't the time for that.
Do you understand what's happening, Elsa? No, because the week before the first, he started off was like, I'm just too scared to go to work, Darra. All this stuff, I'm frightened. I'm like, yes, it's going to work.
Exactly.
go to
It's
work
the truth.
until they tell you you can't go to work no more. Then they started getting cases coming. I just did not want her to not have anything to do. She was getting at that age where if she had a little job, it was just a little 2 hours a day. You know, she needed to do that. Then the next week came, oh, I can't get out the bed. If you can get out the bed to go to work, you can get out the bed to do your damn laundry. What the hell is going on?
There you go.
Week, I was like, don't even try.
Mama said she finna put on the whole show.
If we take you to the hospital, your ass is gonna die. Do you watching this TV? See what's happening out here? We don't even want to leave the house. We have a whole neighborhood of people. We wasn't leaving the house. We were like peeping at our windows at each other. You okay? You okay?
Yeah.
Stay over there. Some of us is still like, stay over there. You know?
Yeah. It was real bad.
It was real. And so she went to the hospital. She was not sick when she went to the hospital. She had her kidneys starting to fail. We didn't know what the hell happened, but she wasn't taking her medication. That's what happened. And then, you come out of the hospital because they was testing you before you come in, and they was testing you before you come out when they put you in the wheelchair right before you leave. Oh, you ain't got that shit? Get out. You know?
Okay.
Yo, seriously.
I'm telling you.
They wanted to put her into rehab, for physical therapy. I was like, no. I didn't want her to be in the first place. No. It was not no joke. They got that Sam DeSantis down there playing games, act like that shit ain't gonna happen. That's why you ask, like, you know what? The Andrew was telling y'all.
Uh-huh.
But that fool
they didn't
that shit.
These people killed. They just
all right, we got
me.
To get off this phone. We got to get off this phone.
Oh yeah.
Because then we ain't gonna run out of things. If you need to talk to me again, we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about.
I'm telling you. But I do thank you for doing this with me today.
Anytime, if you need to do it again or you want to do another one in a couple months, man, just hit me up. All right, I'm around.
Okay, cool. Like, thank you anyways, though.